Welcome to CIVIQ. My name is David Chalker. I'm the Outreach Administrator at the Chattanooga Design Studio. We're very glad to see each and every one of you here tonight. It means a lot to us. We're glad you could join us. Welcome to CIVIQ. I'd like to give a special thanks to our partners for CIVIQ, the Lyndhurst Foundation and Reagan Smith Associates. As we confirm dates for the 2023 CIVIQ calendar, we'd love to hear from you as a potential partner or sponsor of a future CIVIQ event. Along those lines, please go ahead and save the date, November the 11th, when we'll have Mitch Silver for our Winter CIVIQ event. Details to follow. CIVIQ is a quarterly lecture to honor Rob Taylor. CIVIQ introduces and humanizes national and international movements in urban design by showcasing visionaries and their work and practitioners around the world in other cities and in the United States. A big step toward that goal, we're delighted to welcome Brzezinski BOIS, a People Places LLC. We're not sure really how to pronounce his last name. Is it Bois? Is it Bees? Is it Booze? Is it Boys? He'll help fill that in for us in a few minutes. Brzezinski hails from Tampa, Florida, and we appreciate his time on the road after American Airlines canceled his flight due to Hurricane Ian earlier this week, so thank you for making it here. With Brzezinski tonight as his partner in crime and business associate, an urban legend and practitioner in her own right, Miss Simone Davis. Welcome, Simone. Understand we're in for a real treat tonight. Simone, if you'll step up here and take it away, let's go. Welcome.
Hello. So, it's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. Before we get to the main speaker, I will be introducing him by way of a spoken word and giving some cues about Brzezinski as well. So without further ado, here is More Money. It's an excerpt from a music video and a song that I produced this past summer. Dream catchers float by the wayside. I envision a day we sleep by the bayside. Warm waters. The slave trade. We pay homage for those transitioned through horror days. Post-trauma truly turned into better days. So another way comes in many lanes, and more money cometh in Jesus' name. Whether it's game, bang, or claim, there's land of opportunity here in the Tennessee state. Don't get blindsided up to the horizons. Lift your minds and feel what's really behind. Entrepreneurship, growth, and sustainability. There's Black townships in cultural identity. Plus wealth embedded within this community. Let's wine and dine and toast to the utopia. Flip hope like it's that new street dope and fix these cracks as we straighten our backs. Freedom, health, and possibilities. What's in store? Well, that's up for you and me to explore. Hope. So, again, without further ado, Brzezinski Boys is many things to many people. He's an investor, a developer. He's first-generation Haitian American from Dade County, Miami, Florida. If you were to ask Brzezinski who he was, first and foremost, he would say that he's Martha's son and Banushka's brother. He's a dad. He's an uncle. He's an uncle dad by way of adopting his niece and nephews. He's many things to many people. He manages currently over $12 million in commercial and residential real estate in the Tampa metro area of Newport Richey, Florida. And so tonight's discussion really hits home for him, ironically, because of a hurricane that's happening right now in Florida, but largely to the Black community here in Tennessee, but also within the United States. And so his speech, his presentation, his talk is called Hip Hop is New Urbanism. So without further ado, if you don't mind, please stand and give Brzezinski Boys a warm welcome.
All right, how's everybody doing tonight? All right, so if the mic cuts out, I'm gonna put the mic down and I'm gonna walk over and talk to you guys directly. So if you guys don't mind, if the mic goes out, I will put it down and I'm gonna be real personal with you guys. First and foremost, how's everyone feeling tonight? I really appreciate that we have a crowd that's interactive, that's involved. So this is gonna be a simple conversation, guys. I don't want this to be your average lecture where I'm just gonna sit here and go through a couple of slides. I hope to inspire, I hope to provoke emotion, and most importantly, I hope to inspire you guys to want to take action. I also want to acknowledge everyone here that played a part in us getting here. We want to thank you. We want to give you your flowers now and tell you how much we appreciate you. And as I told you guys, I was gonna make it here by any means necessary. And I mean that literally, like Malcolm X says, by any means necessary. I am from Miami, Florida. I grew up exposed to a suburban sprawl area in Miami, but also I was exposed to more new urbanist concepts, spending my summers in Brooklyn. And seeing the two different dynamics of two different worlds. So it kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. Tonight, I'm going to discuss with you a concept that I think is relatively new. I think it's being explored in so many different ways about hip-hop as it relates to new urbanism. By show of hands, who's familiar with the concept of new urbanism? Okay, by show of hands, who's familiar with the concept of hip-hop? By show of hands, who thinks my jacket is fly? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Are you guys familiar with the show Martin? What's up? Okay, good. All righty, so I will not be standing here behind the podium and just addressing you guys. I do plan on making you guys a little uncomfortable and getting out there and getting to know you guys and talking in that manner. But also my clicker can't go this far, so every now and again I'm gonna walk over there just to kind of switch the slides. So if you see me going over there, that means the slides are being changed. So, and again, if this mic doesn't work, I do plan on using my regular voice. So we're just gonna flow with it, okay, guys? We're gonna treat this like a regular conversation that we're having amongst friends, okay? So you guys got an opportunity to learn a little bit about me and who I am. And I wanna start with some of the work that I do in Tampa. And if you see me limping a little bit, it's not because I wanna be cool. I am just getting over an Achilles injury. June 15th, I ruptured my entire Achilles on my left leg. So this is the first time that I'm able to walk without crutches in the last couple of weeks. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. You know, when you get an injury like an Achilles, you think that's it. You realize how valuable it is to just use the bathroom or just go fix food. So I'm really appreciative to be able to walk around right now. So I want to start by telling you a little bit more about my work in Newport Richey, Florida. Can you guys hear me in the back? Are you getting feedback? Okay, cool. Because I can't really hear myself, so it does sound interesting. My voice sounds really deep right now. I'm really liking this, right? Getting Barry White vibes right now. Okay, awesome. So for starters, I definitely want to talk to you guys about the organization that I work for. Is called People Places. And this is an organization led by Frank Starkey, who's my mentor, who taught me a lot about the world of new urbanism. So prior to meeting Frank Starkey and working with People Places, I didn't know anything about new urbanism. What is new urbanism? I didn't know it existed. So working with Frank, gonna change my slide. There we go. Working with Frank, he introduced me to this new concept, and we have an awesome team that I must shed light on who help us do the work that we're doing in the Tampa Bay area. Again, changing the slide. This is my awesome team. So from the left to the right, you have Leah, who spearheads all of our marketing, everything that you see on our website, which is www.people-places.com. So she spearheads our website. Then you have, so they're twins, right? So sometimes I get them mixed up. So this is Kate and Casey and Kira, if you're watching. If I get you guys mixed up, I apologize. So to the left is Kira Atkins, who spearheads a lot of our community-oriented events. We also have Shahelm, who works on the leasing side with me. Mokay Green, who's in the back, who's also our head of maintenance, who makes sure our properties and our assets are protected. We have Frank Starkey in the front, who is our commander-in-chief. We have Austin Hansen, who's our project manager, who spearheads a lot of our commercial and residential development projects on the construction side. You have Casey Atkins, who also supports our events and our residents. And you have myself, who oversees all the financials of all the commercial assets and the multifamily assets. So that's our wonderful team. So just to tell you a little bit about the projects that we have going on. Right now we have 43 units that are already developed. We're going to build another, we actually have 42 units already developed. We're going to build another 43 units, 1 to 2 bedrooms. We're also going to have a piazza built and designed in our apartment community, which is going to be very unique to that neighborhood. We're also going to start pre-leasing in June. So we do have a commercial space, and we also have multifamily space. This is Mokay during phase 1. So a little story about Mokay. The reason why I want to highlight him is that when we were building phase 1, Mokay was on every construction team you could think of, from the infrastructure to the framing to the roofing to the electrical. He just went from sub to sub. But every time we saw Mokay, he would always have a positive attitude and energy. It was just like, hey, hey. And I'm like, this is the guy I want working as my head of maintenance in my community, because people lease and they want to live places where they feel good. And that's what a lot of placemaking is about. You can build beautiful buildings, you can build beautiful places, but if people don't simply enjoy where they live, they won't enjoy the environment. So it was important for me to highlight Mokay, his energy, and the fact that he was there from day 1. Okay. Changing my slides. You don't see me. All right, so this is what the community looks like as of right now. It's 42 units right outside of Sims Park, which it's beautifully right outside of a lake. Project leased up in like 7 months. It took no time, not to toot my own horn, but you know, they had a great person leasing it, you know, but it was pretty good. The product sold itself, but it was important for us to really build a product that really spoke to what the community really wanted. So Frank and the team spent a lot of time doing a lot of community engagement work, really involving what the community wanted to see there in Newport Richey. Recently, I could, if I just give you a nod, will you click it? Okay, cool. Let's have certain talking points. So, let me introduce you, I'm so sorry. She says I don't have to, but I'm going to. So this is Monica. Monica's going to be presenting with me. For Monica, a round of applause. So what Monica's going to do is every time I look at her and go like this, Monica's going to change the slide. So that allows me to walk around and talk to you guys, right? So, a little bit about this photo. This is a photo of Frank Starkey and BJ and his wife, who partnered with us on our most recent acquisition. So we recently closed on a commercial property where we were renting as tenants for our office, and we converted that space. Okay, I wasn't gonna compete with that. So we recently bought a space that we were renting, which is right on Main Street. And that's the photo of us of them at the closing when we recently acquired this space. working out. What we decided to do is repurpose our office, which was a space that is very vintage. We decided to turn it into a meeting space where we're going to have classes, we're going to have different soirees. So again, what we're doing down there is repurposing a building that was designed for something else in a commercial corridor to fit the needs of the community. We should go on the road. I like this. So this is Studio NPR, a space for the community to connect. We also too host our own events called Talk About Town. Can you guys still hear me? Because I feel like okay. Talk About Town is designed to do what we're doing. Check. Okay. If it cuts out in the back, if it cuts out, just let me know, okay? It's one of those things that we're family now, so let me know if I don't sound good. It's like, if my breath stink, let me know, okay? I'll appreciate you, okay? So Studio NPR is designed to host Talk About Town, where we want to hear the community. It's something that we do twice a month, and I think it's very critical to have these types of events because when you're in development, when you're in real estate, it's so critical to understand what the community wants to build. When you're building places, you got to understand that you're not building it for yourself, but you're building it for people that's there, and you want to empower them. And that's what we do at Talk About Town. This is another space that we decided to repurpose. This was a former nightclub that we're converting into two separate businesses. The top floor is going to be a co-working space, and this is the layout to the space. You're good. It's okay. Go back. This space is called Missouri Grand, and this is a rendering of what it looks or what it's going to look like. I'm just kidding. I just want to see if you're paying attention. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm too mature for this. This is too much power. I'm sorry. As you can see, the exterior of this building was a two-story building. It was a two-story nightclub that, as you can see, the facade of the building had no windows. So the first thing we decided to do, and this sits right on Grand Boulevard in Missouri, which is a major road in Newport Richey. The first thing we decided to do was give it windows, make it more inviting. And that was the previous photo that you saw there. This time I'm serious. All right? And this is what we've done to beautify the building. I won't go into too many details, but as you can see, we've added a lot of cool features to the building to make it more inviting, more presentable. This is what the restaurant is going to look like. So on the first floor, we're going to have a neighborhood restaurant. For a while, the rumors in Newport Richey was that we're going to do a seafood restaurant. So cat's out the bag. It's a neighborhood restaurant that serves seafood. I've been chastised by not getting it right. So if you're correctly, if you're watching, it's a neighborhood restaurant that serves seafood. See, I got it right this time. Okay, thank you. All right, and the restaurant is called Estuary. You can go on, next slide. Just want to show you guys some food. By lay of hands, who in here loves food? Okay, I just want to make sure you guys are still with me. Good. All right. So, a little bit about myself. As Simone mentioned, I am an Uncle Dad. So my children coined the word Uncle Dad. So to the left here, you'll see a picture of myself, all of my children. These are all of my children. Biologically, I do have two. August 18th was an awesome day because I adopted 3 more children. I adopted my niece and my nephews, and to the right is my beloved mother and my sister, who unfortunately was murdered in December of 2020. Now, why am I telling you this? I don't want to bring the mood down, but I'm a living example, that God is real. Because if I could still stand here to this day, guys, and present with you after going through such a tragedy, God is real. Don't let anyone tell you anything else. Okay, I didn't want to take you out of church, but we will go to church now. So I do pride myself on being known as Banushka's little brother, which is my beloved sister on the right, and I'm Martha's son, which is my mom on the left. So as a result of losing my mom and sister, 3 children was blessed in my life, and I just adopted them, hence giving me the term Uncle Dad. It's the, all right, can you guys? All right, I think my mic is getting choked up because I'm too gangster to cry on stage, so I think the getting choked up. I get it, I understand, I get it. You know, so this was a pivotal moment in my life, but this also allowed me to realize my purpose. You know, after a tragedy like this, I, of course, went to the big guy like, what's up? What's happening right now? What would you have me do while I'm here on this earth? And he said, I want you to go out and build towns. And that's why I'm here, to talk to you about that. So, that's a little bit about me. Now, working with Frank Starkey about 3 years ago, introduced to people places. He introduced me to an organization called the Congress for New Urbanism. How many of you guys are familiar with the Congress for New Urbanism? All right, I see a few hands. He also introduced me to the National Town Builders Association. How many of you guys are familiar with the National Town Builders Association? Awesome, awesome. So I began to get active in these organizations. I'm also a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, so I'm very familiar with organizations. What I found that when I was in the organization, I would be the only black guy in the room. Isn't that crazy? 2022. I was the only black guy in a lot of rooms, and we were talking about, guess what? Diversity and equity. So, as I began to get active in the organization, I like, hey, I noticed there was a Christian caucus. There was an emerging new urbanism group, and I said, where's the black caucus? I was for sure that, you know, my people would come out. And they're like, we don't have one. You should create one. That's what Frank said to me jokingly. And I said, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So, I started the Congressional Black Caucus for New Urbanism. So what started as a subgroup, we just got our articles of incorporation this week. You guys can clap for that, thank you. And, you know, I started because I wanted to fill a void. I wanted there to be an opportunity for people that look like me to be involved in the process of placemaking and place building. Oftentimes you hear things like, they are doing this, they are doing that. I'm not sure how you guys feel in Chattanooga, but I've never met they till this day. Even DJ Khaled talks about they, and I still haven't met they. So it was an opportunity for me to say, how do I take the they and make that us? So while I'm sitting in these meetings, while I am in environments where I'm the only black guy and I'm okay, it doesn't make me uncomfortable, I said, let me take that knowledge, let me take that information and redirect it and empower people that look like me and say, hey, you know, you can be a part of this process. There's a book called The Death and Life of Great American Cities by James, and she taught us how to empower our communities and be a part of the process. And then I started to explore with my background growing up in hip hop and realizing, wait, there's a new urbanist. There's a new urbanist. What person's a new urbanist? So you mean to tell me a lot of these people are new urbanists, but we're not calling ourselves new urbanists? Hence the idea that hip hop is new urbanism. All right, so on the website, the Congressional Caucus for Urbanism, it does state that our mission is to create the inclusion and the vision of CNU while mobilizing the people of color to actively participate in a new urbanist movement. We envision a world where development of cities and places are both more diverse and more sustainable. We support CNU's goals in diversity and equity, leadership cultivation, economic empowerment, and civil engagement. We can advance the black community by actively combating systemic racism in the housing industry by project-based initiatives, networking opportunities, mentorship, and learning policies. So I said this to a few individuals before, and I'm going to continue to reiterate this message. Me up here speaking to you guys, giving a presentation, we'll get all motivated, we'll get all excited, but it means nothing if we're not here to do the work. I want to be clear that I am here to work. After this presentation, please, if you are interested in working and you're interested in building better places for black, white, brown, orange, purple, green, every color of my jacket type of people, you're an individual that I want to work with. I will be back. I plan on all of you guys at this point are now my play cousins. We have this saying in the black community that when we get close, we're now play cousins. Macon, you're my play cousin. We are now play cousins. That means that we're here to do the work. That means that I will be back and getting my hands dirty and finding out and identifying things that you guys are doing here in Chattanooga that's working. How can I support that? How can I be a part of that? What resources can I provide to support that? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? So please hold me accountable to that, okay? So, work is going to be happening here, for instance, in Chattanooga, Glass Street neighborhood, where organizations like Glass House Collective have done extraordinary work. Please give them a round of applause. I was stalking for a couple of weeks, and I was like, I can't wait to meet them. So, a little tidbit about me. I have some background in the music industry. While in college, I thought I was going to be P. Diddy. What a surprise, right? I went to school for architecture, didn't get into the School of Architecture, so I said I'm going to get into the music industry. So, meeting individuals, as House Collective, and Shane over there at Rock, I'm struck by you guys. What people see as ordinary people are heroes to me. They're the real ones championing this work in these neighborhoods. So we should always give them their flowers while they're here. They're the real superheroes. So just please give her, Ms. Teal, another round of applause. All right, I also had an opportunity to meet another super duper great organization today by the name of Rise Chattanooga, where I met this, I feel like he's like I feel like he's my brother from another mother. Mr. Shane with Rise, he's recently taken ownership of a former church, and they're installing like a commercial kitchen, a studio, a co-working space. We've had conversations about building housing. These are the types of superheroes that I want to align myself with, that I want to work with, that I will be back working with. And there's many other organizations and neighborhoods like this that I'm sure that I haven't learned about yet, but I do want to work with. But too often, in too many cities, developers are guilty of coming into neighborhoods that they're not knowing too much about their history and their character, and wanting to do design. I'm not one of them. I plan to spend the next 3 to 6 months getting information, hearing from you, understanding what worked, what didn't work, and then we're going to call to action maybe summer 2023. Because I want us to take enough time to understand. Can you hear me well? Okay, because I started looking at your face, I wanted to make sure, okay. Because I want to spend as much time understanding the needs of the community, so that way before we execute anything, that I fully get a grasp of what the needs of the community is or are. I'm sorry guys, Ebonics is my first language, so speaking proper is secondary, and then it's Creole, Haitian Creole, so work with me. Okay, so I really want to be intentional about that and drive that point home. If you want more information on Rise, you can visit them at www.risecha.org. That's www.risecha.org. Now, across town, there's also the Oak Grove neighborhood, which I hope to learn a little bit more about, where I'm learning that families have immigrated to the city and creating opportunities of businesses. marketing their skills and investing in themselves. And I'm sure there's a dozen other towns and cities that I'm not privy to that I hope to learn about while I'm here, okay? These are some other images of guys in their location that they're repurposing, which you guys, I'm sure you're familiar with. If you haven't gone there, please take a visit there. We've had service there today. We sang, we cried, we danced, we did the whole 9 yards. So definitely awesome people. All right, so new urbanism. The hip-hop approach to real estate. Check. Okay. You guys still with me? All right. I'm gonna keep the mic like this, so it doesn't go out. All right. So new urbanism. Hip-hop approach to real estate shows us a different model built on ownership, experimental trust, and creativity. So the approach can actually be a corrective to some ways that Black Americans have been prevented from amassing wealth. It's no accident, for example, that Tulsa Black
So the approach can actually be corrected as some of the ways that Black Americans have been prevented from massive wealth. It's no accident, for example, that Tulsa Black Wall Street, one of the country's most famous, successful Black businesses and entertainment districts, was violently destroyed by multiple Black residents. Black Wall Street was a self-contained and flourishing ecosystem that provided entrepreneurs and customers with goods and services that benefited everyone. So when you think of Black Wall Streets, when you think of people saying, okay, we want to build a Black district, that's not to take away from any other neighborhood. Because when one group flourishes, it helps the entire economy. Okay? All right, so the power and political agency that Black Americans enjoy because of Black Wall Street was rare in Oklahoma 100 years ago. It's still sadly rare today. Can we all agree? Yet even though Black Wall Street is essentially old, it remains vivid. It remains a vivid example of the kind of marketplace that new urbanism can deliver. Hip-hop and new urbanism are all about tools. That's been carried for helping me write this piece. This man, let's give him a round of applause. The reason why is because I'm very passionate about this topic. So I can go on and on and on and on. But Carrie was able to help me centralize and narrow exactly the points that I need to hit with you guys today. So I just want to take some time out and give these flowers on this speaker. So, the power of political agency that Black Americans enjoy because of Black Wall Street. I'm sorry if read that already, but continue on. Disregard that. Just kidding, guys. Make sure you do it. Okay? Hip-hop and new urbanism are all about tools, turntables, and records, building permits, and materials. I don't mean to suggest that the approach to civic design is exactly like hip-hop, but there's definitely some parallels, right? What I do believe is that when people of color take control of platforms for creation and distribution, and when they have tight feedback loops and keep them closely connected to their audience, they can build something even better than just beats and shops. We can build entire communities. They can build businesses, they can begin to build legacies. This approach to city building, interactive experiential activity to the market, opens a path to addressing deeper woes of chronic poverty and unemployment in the minority neighborhoods. By show of hands, who's familiar with Nipsey Hussle? Okay. Nipsey Hussle. When you look up Nipsey Hussle, But Nipsey Hussle was a lot more than that. The late Nipsey Hussle was many things to many people, right? He's a rapper, father, and an entrepreneur. To me, he was a highly skilled practitioner of the civic design and planning. In fact, a lot of hip-hop artists are, whether you know it or not. This is the topic we want to explore. In addition to rapping and talent management, Nipsey Hussle invested heavily in brick-and-mortar retail in his native South Central Los Angeles City. His Marathon clothing store opened on Crenshaw Boulevard in 2017. A year later, he purchased the entire shopping center where the store was located, with plans to make it available to retail startups in his neighborhood. So, to put into context, put into context, right? Here you have an individual who's a gang member, who's a rapper. There's this commercial corridor in his neighborhood where he grew up, and he actually sold drugs from, where it was just convenience stores. Let's pause on this commercial corridor on top for a second. I'm gonna make you guys a little uncomfortable. You guys okay with that? We know when we're in a black neighborhood. Right? You drive down the street. What do you see? Pawn shops, convenience stores, food desert. You're like, oh, okay, we're good. We either lock our doors, punch our purses. It's okay, we're not locking our purses, right? We're all want to be safe. But Nipsey saw that in his neighborhood that these types of businesses would not support and help his neighborhood. So he decided to change the landscape, not get out the hood, leave the hood, and go build somewhere else. He said, how do I activate this commercial space to meet the needs of my people? And he did that because he started as a tenant in this commercial space selling t-shirts in the store. Eventually he said, well, there should be a vegan restaurant here. And he opened a vegan restaurant with keeping the individuals who live in the neighborhood as business owners to take part in that process. That's the key thing. It's okay to build commercial buildings in these neighborhoods, but what about the people that live there? How are they going to benefit from that? And Nipsey recognized that, right? He built storefronts in the same way he made songs and beats by using scraps and shreds of existing material and remixing them into thrilling new compositions. And you see this in many urban communities that gave birth to hip-hop, from Los Angeles to New York to the American South. He repurposed every tenant in the Marathon district. He ended up buying a commercial space and allowing people in the community to be a part of that process. And that's the key here, right? You also see this with Tennessee's own Young Dolph. Young Dolph, by show of hands, how many of you guys are familiar with Young Dolph? What? Young Dolph. You know Young Dolph? Young Dolph. Young Dolph owned over 100 properties in Memphis. A lot of people don't know that. So when you think of hip-hop, when you think of rappers, there's so much going on behind the scenes that we aren't familiar with. But what can we do here in Chattanooga to bridge the two? How do we activate hip-hop and its culture with the built environment? In the civic design world, we call this approach to urbanism. We call this approach to urbanism, right? It's a modern term for a traditional approach to how we plan and develop our communities. As the website for the Congress of Urbanism says, they focus on walkable blocks and streets, housing and shopping in close proximity, and access to public spaces. In other words, human-scale urban design. Now, I'd like to allow you guys to watch a pretty cool music video that Ms. Simone Davis executive produced. A little bit of context behind this music video that I'm going to show you guys here shortly. The song is entitled More Money. MORE is an acronym for Mayors Organized for Reparations and Equity. It was started by the mayor of Los Angeles, along with the mayor of Denver, Colorado. In this MORE coalition, there's Austin, Texas, there's Rhode Island, there's various other Kansas City, Missouri. Everybody see that? Okay, Holy Spirit's talking to me. So, I like to do something right here. I want to take a video selfie with you guys. Is that okay? Okay. I'm going to say more. You're going to say money. Okay? So I'm going to say more. You're going to say money. So we're going to do a practice run for this, all right? On the count of 3. 1. Remember, I say more first. 1, 2, 3. More. Beautiful. Okay, that really well worked. All right. So, on the count of 3, I'm going to say more. You say money. More.
Dreams that just go by the wayside. I envision them missing by the wayside. More waters on the ice to test the waves. Tsunamis, hurricanes. We live through the slave trade. Overgrade on shores, transition to holidays. Post-trauma to return into better days. So please launch shores.
Two things that really point out to me when we think of hip-hop and urbanism. Number one, we have a huge buying power, huge spending power. What if we decided to just, spend that money in our neighborhoods, rebuild it? Just maybe. Number two, hip-hop is very influential. It's a global phenomenon. So our message can be spread throughout the world. Let's leverage that. Let's work together. Let's figure out how we can rebuild our communities together. We are here to work here in Chattanooga, guys. This presentation was a lot of fun. I enjoyed every second. I enjoyed my time here. But it means nothing if I don't do any work. We don't do any work. So please, I want to encourage you guys. If you have not put your name on the sign-in sheet that we have there for us to connect with you, even if you're not directly involved, please, we'd like to hear from you.